Sean, over to you. What do you think people have been talking about this week?
What about Mike Tyson giving up boxing to become a wedding planner?
Would you get most of your news from Take a Break magazine?
Sorry to interrupt you. Do you know when they reported it to Evander Holyfield, they went to him and said, Tyson's given up, and he went, no. He said, yeah, he's actually given up, and he went, I can't believe me ear.
I can tell you it wasn't in the top 5. It was the 19th most talked about thing this week. Mike Tyson has announced this week that he wants to quit boxing. He said that he wants to become a Christian missionary. Though when asked to make the sign of the cross, he said, Arr. OK, you've got 3 more to get. Fingers on buzzers.
Prince Harry at Sandhurst.
Yeah, so this is the story of a Sun journalist breaking into Sandhurst with a fake bomb.
But the thing is, they're always doing this, aren't they? The tabloids, the Sun and the Mirror, they're constantly, like, you know, trying to breach security arrangements. And I imagine every time Al Qaeda read it, they just go, I wish we'd thought of that.
Claudia, are you worried about Harry's safety?
Yes. I was undecided. It was 50... Well, yes, a little. Well, I think...
You haven't thought about it, have you?
No.
You said they took a fake bomb in there, which basically is anything, isn't it? You know, a brush is a fake bomb, isn't it?
Well, let's have a look and see if this was one of the most talked about things this week.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it was. This is the story of a Sun journalist who smuggled a fake bomb into Sandhurst. Harry was initially excited. He thought they'd smuggled in a bong.
Is it the story about people trying to sell... the ticket touts trying to sell on eBay the Live 8 tickets? Because I was disgusted by that, as everybody was.
What did you bid?
I wouldn't bid, honestly. I was disgusted. Like, Bob Geldof said boycott it for a week, but they backtracked, so I didn't bother. But at one point, I was going to get me snuff movies and me ivory chess set from somewhere else. And then...
When you say snuff movie, it's some old bloke going...
Yeah. Just going, bloody weather.
Let's have a look and see whether the Live 8 eBay ticket fiasco was one of our most talked about stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. The second most talked about thing this week. You've got 1 more to guess.
Is it by any chance the world debt? The fact
Tell
that
me
they're
more.
going to reduce the world debt. The Western world is going to reduce the African debt, and it's going to work out to about £1 per person per year, right? Which I thought, that's quite good, isn't it? £1. I'm quite happy to give that to solve. But then they said, for 10 years. I was thinking, that's £10, isn't it?
Oh, how tight are the Northerns? Oh.
How pompous are the Southerners?
Not very pompous at all. Well, shall we have a look and see whether the debt cancellation is one of our top 5 talked about stories? Yes, I can tell you that the G8 leaders have pledged to drop $40 billion worth of debt. Well, they haven't actually cancelled the debt. What they've done is they've consolidated it into one easy monthly payment. Rwanda gets a charming carriage clock. And don't worry, Chad, no salesman will call. Did you know, for example, koalas are asleep 80% of the time? So keep it down. 91% of people over 60 think we show less respect for each other than we did in the past. Silly old fuckers. And a single kiss can contain 40,000 parasites, 250 types of bacteria, and up to 0.45 grams of fat. A French kiss is the same, but it can also contain dog shit and garlic. Let's get started. OK, there's one more thing in the news.
It's Mother's Day on Sunday. People have been talking about that. I bought a card today. It's the biggest rip-off in the world. It's cards. They've invented occasions. I mean, Mother's Day is pretty legitimate, but, I mean, happy bonfire night. Isn't happy bonfire night? Congratulations on your first shag. How irritating you've got thrush. Things like that. And
Congratulations on your hung jury. That's always a nice one.
Well, I got to the till and I went, I'll have that card, please. Nice card, it's got roses on it. She went, that'll be £3.99. It fucking won't. For a bit of card, it's for a bit, £3.99. I went to Boots next door and I got a gift voucher. £1, and you get a card with it. So. And you don't have to send a gift voucher, you just send a card. Go back in next week with another £1 and have a gift voucher, please. There you go.
What are you getting your mum for Mother's Day? Sorry, that was in English, wasn't it? Yeah.
She might want to keep it a secret, but she doesn't want her mum to know. That's
You don't
why
want to
she's...
spoil it.
I don't know
Spoil
whether
surprise.
Maggie watches this. I'm pretty sure she doesn't. Well, I can tell you Mother's Day is not on the list. It's one of the smaller stories this week. Of course, everyone loves their mum, even if they've done really bad things, like systematically dismantle the unions or destroy the welfare state or go to war to win an election. Fingers on buzzers. Any other idea what's in the top 5?
Is it the story about the teacher who's suing for sexual discrimination because she was given a humorous chair? She had a flatulent chair, a chair that made fart noises when she sat in it. She said she was deliberately given this chair to undermine her position.
Apparently, this happened for 4 years. So you'd think, you know, after 6 months, she might get another chair. But why?
But sorry, for 4 years?
4 years, apparently, this happened.
She said she had to constantly go explain it. She goes, so it's not me, it's the chair. Occasionally she'd go, that was me.
The trouble is she wasn't taken seriously. I mean, she went to the governors and said, look, my chair farts. And they went, who smelled it out?
I've got the picture. Do you want to see it?
Have you got it?
Yeah, have a look.
The face,
She
her
looks
expression
worried.
there. Her
She
expression-
looks like she's holding a fart in.
Well, let's have a look and see if the farting chair is up there. Amazingly, it's one of the most talked about things this week. This is the story about a teacher who sued her school because they gave her a farting chair. She had made a really convincing case for herself at the tribunal until she let one rip and blew the judge's wig off. The next round is Believe It or Not. I'll give the panellists a simple statement. All they have to do is decide whether they think it's true or false. Dave, Sally and Dave, let's have a look at a clip to illustrate your statistic.
I like being older because I can do what I want whenever I want.
Movies are cheaper.
My husband is all mine. No more competition from the job.
I find in retrospect that I spent a lot of time doing meaningless things for people I didn't really like, for organizations I didn't really believe in.
I can't get pregnant anymore.
Some very old people there. Here is your related statistic. 31% of over 65s believe that their age gives them the right to behave badly. Is that true or false?
That sounds awful, but I think it's true. I think they go, sod it, I'm old, I'm going to moan.
31% of over 65s think they're living in 1944 anyway, don't they? They don't know where they... And they drive that way as well. That's behaving badly. Last time they passed the test was in a Saracen armoured car at El Alamein. Driving in the road, stickers in the back window, I lost a leg at Dunkirk and all that. But they do, they drive as if they're permanently looking for a parking space.
I saw a documentary where this woman, she was 96 and she did wing walking. You know where they go on a plane, in a stunt plane. When she landed, she had the face of a 16-year-old. All the wrinkles had been blown back, down her back, and congregated in her knickers.
I remember driving back from Blackpool once, right?
You've lived a life.
Rock on! And there was an old woman driving the opposite way up the hard shoulder. And I stopped and I said, are you all right, love? Is this the way to Blackpool? And I went, no, you've got to all go that way, and then the other side, they all go that way. And she was just carried on, honest to God.
Well, there's that old story or urban myth about an old woman folding her husband up who's coming back on the M65 and saying, be careful, I've just had a report on the radio that there's a mad bastard driving the wrong way up the M65. He said, one mad bastard, there's hundreds.
Oh, it's funny up north, isn't it?
They always go shopping on a Saturday dinner time. They've got all fucking week to go shopping, haven't they? All week. And you're in a hurry on a Saturday dinner time. They're in the queue with the coupons. And do you take Bird's Eye? And do you take... How much is it? 175. Give 'em here, £2. F*** off. Go on.
The thing is, Dave, I can't understand why you keep using the word they.
Get back. It's a family show. OK, 31% of the over 65s believe their age gives them the right to behave badly. True or false? What do you think?
I think they think it's true.
We all seem to agree on this.
You think it's true? Well, I can tell you that the answer is false.
Oh, no.
Only 3% of pensioners think that their age gives them the right to behave badly, and the three in question are Foggy, Compo and Clegg. OK, Sean, Julian and Edith, let's have a look at a clip to illustrate your statistic.
Well, there's Dick Shepherd just about to attempt to go through our special seaside special van. I think it's well and truly on fire now. Here he comes up to the approach. Here he goes, keep your fingers crossed. And he's through! Well, he's right the way through. It is still on fire. And let's see if he's going to get out all right. We're just all keeping our fingers crossed at this stage. The fire seems to be... No, the fire's still there underneath the bonnet. They're just at this very moment trying to get him out. Yes, there he goes. They're tipping it up. Still very much on fire, I'm afraid. And they're just trying to pull him out right now. Yes, Dick is, I think, all right in there. Yes, he's definitely all right. I can see Dick moving inside there, so everything seems to be all right. Yes, here he comes. He's all right, ladies and gentlemen. There he is, Dick Shepherd. He's made it. A nice round of applause. Well done, Dick.
Dick Shepherd.
You know, people talk about how, like, telly wasn't like it used to be. You know, that was a Saturday night. It was a show called Saturday Special. So the highlight of the show was him driving into a removal van on fire. That was it. That was the finale of the night. You drive into it and then you crawl out. Ta-da!
OK, your related statistic. 21% of men admit to having done something that put their life in danger in order to impress a woman. True or false?
I think it's false, because I think it's higher. Because I think men think that switching off the PlayStation is putting their life in danger.
Julian, has a man ever done anything to impress you?
He did come round to my house driving a Fiat. That did the trick.
Have you?
What, have I ever done anything to impress women?
Watch loose women.
Yeah. I think the best way to impress women is take it to a car boot sale. Get anything you want. Money's no object.
You silver-tongued you.
That glove, have it. There's a dashboard from a Vauxhall Viva there. Take it away, it's yours.
21% of men admit having done something to put their life in danger in order to impress a woman. True or false?
It's true.
True.
Well, I can tell you that the answer is true. 21% of men have done something to put their life in danger to impress a woman. Once, driving a girl home, I turned into traffic without checking the blind spot properly. Man, she was turned on. Dave, over to you. What else have people been talking about this week?
I was going to say, on a musical theme again, I think people probably were talking quite a lot about Glastonbury.
I want to know why everybody I know that lives in Glastonbury calls it Glastonbury, and everybody who doesn't live in Glastonbury who goes there calls it Glastonbury.
Because they're not as posh?
Perhaps. I'm beginning to think that might be the reason.
Don't some people call it Glastonbury?
Glastonbury.
What, you mean the staff?
Yeah, the staff. Yeah. They're sweeping the fields.
Should we have a look and see whether Glastonbury is one of the most talked about things?
Please, let's... Oh, yes.
Yes, it was. Glastonbury was the second most talked about thing this week. Kate Moss almost got E. coli and dysentery from the disgusting toilets. That was before she left Pete Doherty's flat and went to the festival. Sean, over to you. What else have people been talking about?
There was a big thing in the papers, wasn't there, about the Diana, some new book about Diana's come out.
The woman who's written the book was Diana's astrologist, right?
No, I'm sorry, guys, she wasn't an astrologer. She was an energy healer.
Yes.
Is that an electrician?
Let's see if that was one of the most talked about things. Yes, it was the fifth most talked about thing this week. Just think, though, if Diana hadn't died, we wouldn't have that beautiful fountain in Kensington Gardens. And Paris wouldn't have that beautiful slow down sign. Right, now you've got one more to get. Fingers on buzzers.
Is it the celebrations of the Battle of Trafalgar? And they had a big flotilla, armada type thing in the Solent. The thing about it, I suppose, the thing that everyone noticed was that to not offend the French, they decided, rather than have it between the English and the French, they had the blue team and the red team. The idea was that so they don't offend the French. And I think it's a wasted opportunity to offend them. Wonderful opportunity to offend them. Because the French, they like being offended. All their facial muscles are designed to be offended.
when the battle finished, half of our boats came back with 50 cases of Stella, didn't they?
Well, I can tell you that the Battle of Trafalgar was not one of the most talked about things. It was actually the 7th most talked about thing this week. This week saw the reenactment of the Battle of Trafalgar to celebrate its 200-year anniversary. The reenactment wasn't a total success, and I'm sad to report the French have taken Plymouth.
Well, I reckon it could be Big Brother. What does anyone else think?
I don't know, I've been a bit busy this week, smashing myself in the head with an iron. So I didn't get a chance to catch most of it. No, I lie, actually. I've been entrapped by it this week, because it's got very, very, very tetchy, hasn't it?
But they don't show enough. They show those two, that straight couple in bed rolling around under that duvet, but you don't get to see, you just see them like, you see lumps moving up and down.
No, there was more detail.
Oh, really?
There was an elbow going.
Oh, right. Is that what that was?
Yeah. I was watching very closely indeed.
It's like the porn you get in an Orkney's hotel, isn't it? Porn channel, just an elbow coming out of a duvet. £7.99 for this.
I don't understand why everyone seems to fancy Maxwell so much. He's got no top lip.
Yeah.
He's kind of...
Right, shall we have a look and see whether Big Brother was one of the most talked about things this week?
Yes, well done.
Yes, it was. It's all heating up in the Big Brother house. Saskia and Maxwell were both up for eviction this week. I'm not surprised. They behave like they're the new Posh and Becks. In fact, they're the new Stuart and Michelle. Remember them? They were the new Paul and Helen. The next round is called Believe It or Not. In this round, I'll give the panellists a simple statement. All they have to do is decide whether they think it's true or false. Sean, Les and Christian, have a look at this clip to illustrate your statistic.
No, that's what you can do if you want to do. Look, I'm down bloody here and don't bloody come down bloody like a bloody press friend of mine. Fuck asked you to come in and have a cup of tea and you're telling me what the Jesus Christ couldn't tell me what to do, never mind you.
Sean's dad there.
I like the idea that he's going towards Shane Ritchie doing a Daz advert. I'll give you 2 for this.
OK, here is your related statistic. Britain is the angriest nation in Europe. True or false?
How would you measure who's angrier than who? If you took the Scots out, we'd probably be all right.
I don't know. I think English football fans are the only people who, when they visit another country, the police there have to go into special training weeks. And you know that every time there's like a tournament in Spain or something, the local police are all in a field beating cows to death with a truncheon. Get some practice in.
Yeah, but Scotland, I went to Scotland once when all the rugby was on, and all there was like fat men with no tops on kicking each other in the street.
That was our Mardi Gras.
But we can't be the angriest nation. I mean, we get angry, but we just get quite vexed, don't we? We never follow it through. If you're on the phone to somebody getting really, really annoyed on the phone, our idea of getting angry is getting angry when you've hung up. And then so you go, yeah, right, yeah, no, you see, you're up, yeah, OK, right, oh, fair enough, yeah. You wanker!
People argue with me, they say I'm Keith Chegwin, and I say, no, I'm not. And they say, yes, you are. And they row with me. I'm not Keith Chegwin, you bloody are. I'm Les Dennis, don't be ridiculous, he's dead. Actually, had somebody say that to me.
Bless him.
Can we just get on with this? He looked at you like you were a young monkey. Like he was just going to rip you apart like that chicken wing.
That looks like... That's me after meeting your mum. Britain is the angriest nation in Europe. True or false? What do you think, Sean?
No, it's false. It's the Swiss. They're livid.
You're going for false?
It's false.
False.
You are right. I can tell you that the answer is false. Britain is Europe's second most angry country after Portugal. Yeah. Which means that Portugal go on to meet Iran in the final. Dave, Chantal and Frankie, let's have a look at a clip to illustrate your statistic.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Danke. Bitte sehr.
I know what that is. Wasn't that the day that you visited Scotland?
Well, those footballers, they love a sail. OK, your related statistic is 12% of British men admit having been reduced to tears during a shopping trip. True or false?
I only cried once, and it's when I went to DFS and bought a sofa full price.
The one day of the year.
I've been very upset by stuff I've bought. I fell out with this girlfriend of mine because you know, she's getting really upset because she thinks there's a big difference between, like, semi-skimmed and banana-flavoured milk. It's milk! Come on! That's just nitpicking.
I've been in a supermarket and people come and say, "What are you doing here?" You know, and I'm like, "Well, I'm doing my shopping. Every now and again, I've got to eat." It's kind of like they think there's a celebrity Asda somewhere, you know, that we all go to.
There is actually, Les. You haven't been invited.
That was nice, the little showbiz. Yeah. OK, so 12% of British men admit having been reduced to tears during a shopping trip. True or false? What do you think?
We all think it's true.
You think it's true? Well, I'm afraid you're wrong. Actually, just 3% of men have broken down and cried during a shopping trip. In their defence, they were shopping for their wife's coffin. It's the one she would have wanted. What, the first one you saw? Yeah. Sean, Jade, Reginald, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Well, I think definitely the Winter Olympics. The thing I find really fascinating is the judges in the ice skating. They're just so harsh. Because you can see in ice skating, do amazing things like leap in the air, do 3 twists, come down on one leg, skate off, spin round, and we're all going, "That's amazing." And the judge goes, moved his head. I'd like to see what score I'd get on the ice.
Have you ever skated before?
A little bit, but I'd be clinging to the side. What score I'd get? Well, I get like 0.1.
Well, we win very little, so we could introduce events that we'd have a chance of winning over here that we're good at in this country. Sliding down a hill on a bin bag. They'd be at the top of the hill at Swiss going, "What do you think, Hanks?" We'd be halfway down. "Come on, Billy!" Trees, in and out of trees. We could have old men clearing the path relay.
Pissing in snow.
Yeah.
Writing your name.
I love the curling, do you not? I can't go to bed if curling's on. 6-pack bag of nuts, I'm up all night if curling's on. I'm like, that me. Use your brush, use your brush!
I think it'd be nice if in the middle of the target they had a hole and you heard a big sploosh.
Yeah. Do you know, this year, one of the English teams said it, the ice is not up to the standard it should be for Olympics, and so it's not as exciting as it should be.
How you gonna have the Winter Olympics and not have a snowball fight? They should have a snowball fight, everybody wearing a flag representing their country, and whoever just get bust dead center in the head. Boosh!
If we drew Germany in the semi-finals, whoa!
It'd be bloodshed.
Get some coal in, Billy, get some coal in. Hey, come on!
Can I just say, are you sure you know what you're talking about? Because I didn't think the Olympics even started, because I thought we was having it here.
No, you're absolutely right. The Olympics isn't on. I'm mental. Yeah. I don't know what I was going about. What are you talking about? The Winter Olympics? Will you shut up? We're just mad.
So the Olympics is going to be in here somewhere.
When is it here?
Yeah.
When's it here, Jade?
I don't know. That's why I'm a bit confused if he's on now.
No, you might be right. Jesus Christ, you better tell Hazel Irvine and the whole British team out there reporting these crazy foreigners slipping about on the ice.
I thought you might be watching that celebrity ice skating thing.
Have you been watching celebrity ice skating and you got confused?
No.
You know, that's the first thing I flick on when I come home in the evening. I don't want to drink, I don't want to smoke, I don't want to touch nobody's ass, I want to watch celebrity ice skate. That's me, yeah.
There's not enough dogs on ice. Take a dog into the middle of an ice rink, put it down, go off to the edge, shout it.
Well, let's have a look and see whether the Winter Olympics is one of the most talked about things this week.
Oh, it is.
Yes, the Winter Olympics kicked off last week. Britain's Tom Clemens took part in the 10K skiing sprint. He had to be content with 79th position. He was beaten by Spring. A scientist had to invent a new metal for his medal, Lastium. The next round is called the Poll with a Hole. We've looked through hundreds of surveys, past and present, from around the world and unearthed some fascinating facts. Unfortunately, each statistic is missing one salient piece of information, so it's up to our panellists to fill in the gaps. OK, Sean Steen, you are first. 80% of Daily Mail readers don't like what?
Reggae.
They don't like anything, do they? If they had their way, one end of the Channel Tunnel, a big cheese grater, wouldn't it?
The grat.
Yeah.
I like the way you immediately gave it a name in French.
Did I?
Yeah.
Do you know what I thought that and didn't say it, but obviously I said it.
Is it people whose houses are on wheels? Who like to move about a bit? Settle down for a couple of weeks, burn a few tyres, and then move on.
Don't like the way that George Eliot's Mill on the Floss ended. Found it a little downbeat.
It's something rude.
Gay sex?
No,
gag balls.
Ribbing a chimp, they don't like that.
Where might they see sex?
On the telly. Everywhere.
Correct. 80% of Daily Mail readers don't like sex on TV. If you're a Daily Mail reader, look away now.
That's actually quite erotic.
Yeah.
OK, I can't tell you the source of this one, Dave's team, because it would give it away. 80% of doctors are in favour of what?
Kissing it better.
Is it working from home? 80% of doctors are in favour of Dr. Fox being struck off.
Is it acupuncture? Only I've had it and it works, you know, it's good. But I always wonder, how did they ever get that past the medical council, that's sticking pins in you? And how did it ever come about? Was it two samurai warriors centuries ago going, ching, 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 oh, my headache's gone.
Do you know if it goes wrong, do you have to use an acupuncture repair kit?
It's 80% of doctors are in favour of chloramphenicol for red eye in children. This is from a survey that featured in the Daily Express in December 2004. 50% of people can't explain what is.
Is it Kamal from Big Brother? Sillet bang. What is sillet bang?
What?
What? It's sad, you know, I found it in the bathroom the other day. I'm reading it because I'm on the toilet, and well, you do, don't you? I've done the bleach, I've done the sif. Sillet bang, and there's no ingredients on it. It's very Moorish.
I'll give you a clue. It's something to do with finance.
Bank.
Yeah, bank. Yeah, seriously.
What's a bank?
What is a bank? My friend said to me, what's a building society? He said, I don't know what a building society is. And I said, what's a bank? I don't know what a bank is. I don't know what it is. What is it? They say that they've got your money, you know, and
then you go in and they give it to you.
Yeah. Usually they have.
I mean, it's not really as easy as that sometimes, you know. They make it difficult for you, you know, and they give you interest, and but somehow, like, they invest your money in things, and...
I feel like, Peter, you're auditioning for the thickest man in Europe.
Shall I tell you?
Yeah.
50% of people can't explain what an overdraft is. I'll tell you what, give me your PIN number and I'll show you. So at the end of that round, it's 5 points for Sean's team and 5 points for Dave's team. 16% of talent show applicants say they would be prepared to lose a finger for a shot at fame. Is that true or false?
Is that an actual question that you would ask a talent show applicant?
I think it's halfway through the act. People just go, I'll just chop your finger off. Do something.
I'd do it. What I'd do is I'd chop it off and stick like that and put the finger out my ear like that. That's incredible.
Or you could wrap it around your neck and use it to point at things. It's just round the corner, just over there.
Funny outside the X Factor auditions, though, going down the back, a bloke with a big bag going, fingers, come on, you, just bending that. Fingers, come on.
You know, it's illegal to chop your finger off, because it means you're not fit for military service.
Is that true?
Yeah.
How did you come across that nugget of information?
People tell me things and they stay in.
Did you hear that, Nikki?
Yeah.
I wasn't listening.
Of course you weren't.
Do you think there's an escalating scale of what limbs you have to lose to gain a certain degree of fame? Like Heather McCartney?
She lost a whole leg.
But she made a fortune.
What's his name? Lost his eyesight.
Blunkett.
These are all things Nikki learned in part 1. It's exciting, isn't it? 16% of talent show applicants say they would be prepared to lose a finger for a shot at fame. True or false?
False.
OK, I can tell you that the answer is in fact true. Oh. All right, calm down.
Well done.
Not a lot of people, though, is it?
Not well. I mean, it's quite mental, isn't it? 16% would go, yeah, I'll have a finger off just to sing for Simon Cowell. Of course, once they've done it, they'll have to tend to off like this. Here is your related statistic. 38% of call centre staff claim that their job has helped them find romance. Is that true or false?
Well, they can't find my details. I give them my customer reference. I give them my date of birth, my postcode, my blood group. They can't find
The people that do the cold calling, you know, that ring you, I think that helps their love life, because I always say, go and get
But some people do sound more sexy on the phone.
Often people phone me up and they say, can we interest you in double glazing? I go, no, but you could certainly take me out to dinner.
Have you ever had phone sex? Fantastic.
I like the fact you know when the call's over.
And your mum walks in the room.
Yeah.
She can't walk in the room, she's on the phone.
You know, in America, all the sex lines start with 900. And the area code for Western Tennessee is 901. So you must get a lot of people in Western Tennessee just getting a misdialed call. What am I wearing? Overalls. My daddy's right here. Earl, it's for you.
All right. 38% of call centre staff claim that their job has helped them find romance. Is that true or false?
But I think yes.
We think yes.
We think
it's probably
yeah,
true.
Right. OK. I can tell you that the answer is true. Yes. Yes, 38% of call centre staff claim that their job has helped them find romance. Call centres are weird things. Yeah, I need to go from Coventry to Ipswich on Saturday. I better call someone in Bangladesh. They'll know. What have the nation been talking about this week?
Saddam Hussein got found guilty this week. They said, you must stand up for the verdict, and he wouldn't stand up. And so they got these two court officers to help him up, and he was picking one up, and he turned to him, and he said, get off me, don't make me bend, you ugly man. And I thought, nah, he's showing his true colours now. I liked him up to that, but that's just bloody rude. That. He said he didn't want to be hung, he wanted to be shot like a soldier, didn't he? I think it's time we compromised. Do both. String him up by his feet, get him swinging like that. 3 shots a pound, come on.
Maybe that's why he looked so disappointed, because he wanted to be shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't be hard. It's a bit like at Christmas if you want a bike and you get a jigsaw.
Yeah. You know they're going to kill him for bad things he did to lots of people. I had an idea that they should kill him the way... You know when they pulled down his statue and they dragged it slightly with cars and tanks and... You know, you've seen the news. I think they should do the same with him and kill him in that way. You'll get lots of children, you know, to recreate that dragging down of the statue, and then put a bit of rope round him with tiny little cars, little... What are you looking like that for?
This is like watching the news, isn't it?
And then you just drag him out of the room, and he'll kind of fall in half at one point, and then everyone can just jump on his head. But the thing I thought about him was that...
Hold on a sec, you can't just move straight off. What you're saying is they should push him over.
They should slowly...
I sentenced you to death by pushing over.
In America, they don't have executions. This is totally Christian-driven, too, because in America, they don't have executions on Sundays or Mondays, because on Sundays, God don't want to see no new people on his day off. And then you don't want to have your people execute nobody on Monday because you just back to work. You should be ready to murder somebody by Wednesday, really.
He must have done some good for someone. Is it Mr. Hussein?
He must have done some good for someone.
Yeah, there must be some good things in Iraq.
He was very good to his mum.
Yeah. Did he kill her?
Did he kill her?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? He's not going to sue us. Yeah, Saddam Hussein killed his mum. Come get me. Good, well, shall we have a look and see if Saddam is one of the most talked about things this week? Of course he is. The most talked about thing this week. Saddam has been sentenced to death by hanging. He thought he found a loophole. No, Saddam, that's a noose. Sean, Louis and Reese, what have the nation been talking about this week?
4-year-old girl's depressed, a bit down. And she took her to the doctor and he said, yeah, she's depressed. Instead of, what he should have done, actually, when he went to her, he should have listened to all her symptoms. He should have gone, hold on a sec. Boom! Everything's been fine.
Apparently, the reason this girl is depressed is because she didn't get into the right primary school.
That was the end.
Yeah, but the reason she didn't get in is because her parents didn't put the application in time. So the reason she's depressed is that her parents are a couple of basically, that's what it comes
She tried to slit her wrist with stickle bricks.
Well, there's a nice image, yeah. She put her head in the oven, but it's one of those little plastic ones, it's fine.
When I was 4, I used to get randy. I used to rub myself against a chair leg. Honestly, and my mum would go, stop that, it's naughty. And my dad said, don't tell him, don't stop, he's Welsh. He'd say, don't tell him to stop, because he might go funny in the head. And I think I did it till I was about 14. I would get on a chair leg and rub like that. On the chair leg and...
That's funny.
I don't know how they spotted it. I mean, I don't know how they actually identified her depression. She's not listening to, you know, Leonard Cohen in a room. Just sort of sit up there smoking. I mean, there's...
I think she's up in her room listening to the Tweenies' very difficult second album.
Yeah.
Let's have a look and see whether this 4-year-old depressed girl is one of the most talked about things of the week.
Oh, it is. That's not good.
The next round is called The Poll with a Hole. We've looked through hundreds of surveys, past and present, from around the world and unearthed some fascinating facts. Unfortunately, each statistic is missing one salient piece of information, so it's up to our panellists to fill in the gaps. Here's your first question. In the 1940s, 25% of men what?
Had my nan in an Anderson shells.
She flattened some grass, didn't she?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Is it 25% of men ate a diet of only powdered egg and weasels?
Weasels?
25% of men who fought for our freedom and our future rights didn't realise 60 years later all the thanks they'd get would be happy slapping and pushing dog shit through the letterbox.
Well, Alan, all I've got to say to that is stop it.
In the 1940s, 25% of men wore knitted swimming trunks. They never had proper swimming trunks in them. They just used to knit them, didn't they? You used to go paddling off the coast of Blackpool and your trunks would be 3 foot behind you. Full of scampi.
It's to do with kind of moral depravity.
We're having affairs?
It's not having an affair. It's, I think, morally worse than that.
Murdered. You say it's worse than having an affair. Just trying. I mean, it might be a bit of a leap.
I think.
Visited hookers?
Correct. That's the right answer. Yes, in the 1940s, 25% of men slept with prostitutes. It sounds bad, but have a look at your gran. Can you blame them? 75% of Russians are afraid of what?
Is it Virginia Woolfsky?
I wish it was.
Well, it's texting. They've got to take their gloves off, haven't they? You ever tried texting with gloves on? You end up trying to say something like, hi, how are you? And you end up saying, fuck us back at Books Bob, mate.
Is it KGB?
It's not the KGB, it's related to that.
Oh.
B&Q.
B&Q is not related to the KGB. They were never...
TBC.
No.
CBeebies.
Yeah. Correct. I'm afraid of CBeebies, yeah.
It's one of the emergency services.
The AA?
Is it the police?
Yes, it is the police. Yes, 75% of Russians are afraid of their own police force. The other 25 are missing. Shh, say nothing.
Don't upset the Russians, Jimmy. Don't upset the Russians because they got all the gas. They could phone up Power Gen and they say, don't give him any gas. And they'll do it.
You know what the irony will be? They won't be annoyed at the joke, they'll be annoyed at that accent. OK, the average Brit has lost 37 what?
37 hours of their life explaining the internet to an old person.
It's like a big, but what, like an encyclopedia? Yeah. Another cup of tea and a biscuit.
Is it Twixes? I've never lost a Twix, it was a guess. Imagine if you'd lost 37 of them, though. You'd stop buying them, wouldn't you? What are you going to have? Mars bar, Twix? I'm not having Twix, keep losing.
I like the way as a badge of honour you said, I've never lost a Twix.
37 elderly relatives to Errol Shipman.
I'll give you a clue. They're round and shiny, they have a hole in them.
Women?
Are you single by any chance?
CDs is the right answer. Yes, the average Brit has lost 37 CDs. If you were to count up every hot dog sold outside football grounds in Britain on a Saturday, chances are your nickname's Rain Man. 40,000 Americans are injured in the toilet every year. Most accidents are from people slipping on a wet floor. Just goes to show you've got to look out for number one. Half of all the people who have ever smoked have now stopped. Sounds good, but when I say stopped, a lot of them have died. Let's get started. Dave, your team to go first. What have the nation been talking about this week?
Well, around our way, it's been this smoking ban. I think the government reneged on the deal again, where they said that it was going to be a partial ban. I know they've changed their mind and it's a full ban. They were going to have designated areas in pubs, weren't they, for smoking? And to my mind, that's like having a swimming bath with designated urinating areas.
They have banned it in some American cities, haven't they? Do you approve?
Well, as I live here, I couldn't give a fuck about what's going on.
There are times you really fancy a cigarette, and it's going to be quite tricky. Like, you know, if you just cheated death in an air disaster, you really want to have a cigarette then?
I reckon they'll let you.
Yeah, do you reckon?
If you've just cheated death in an air disaster.
Yeah. But you won't care anyway, will you? Just go, piss off.
Yeah.
I think put that plane out.
Are you saying, like, if your seat somehow gets thrown out of the plane into a pub?
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look and see whether the smoking ban is one of the top 5 most talked about things this week.
Get in.
Yes, it is. Interestingly, the ban on smoking will not apply to Wales, which is one more reason to visit Wales, which brings the total to 1. We've got 2 more to get. Buzz in if you think you know what the nation have been talking about.
Is it the US Vice President going out hunting and shooting his mate? Which is really funny. I mean, he said, I'm mistooking for a quail.
Then he went, did you see the size of that fucking quail?
It's a shame you didn't go with Bush, though, isn't it? Just, that would have been nice if he'd shot Bush. That would have been perfect. If George Bush had popped out of a bush and he'd blown his stupid face off.
Now, Reg, you're an American man. Have you been hunting?
No, I've never been hunting. I've been in the forest with a gun, but...
Don't threaten me, Reg.
I was doing something else, though.
I didn't think you shoot quails, because when I went on hunting, they only said that you shoot ferrets, rabbits.
You went hunting? You sure you weren't working for Rent-A-Kill?
No,
You weren't hitting rats with a shovel?
And I'm going to go to shoot the ferrets.
You're going to go and shoot ferrets?
In the season.
In the season? Is there a season for shooting ferrets?
That's what they said.
Yeah. Do you mean pheasants?
Pheasants!
Right, shall we have a look and see if Dick Cheney shooting someone in the face is one of the top stories this week? Yes, it is. Yes, 52% of you were talking about American Vice President Dick Cheney shooting a lawyer in the face in the woods outside Dallas. 60% of air passengers have had problems with what?
The pilot. I just judged this on one incident where I was flying recently to Alicante and we got up to 35,000 feet. He came on and went, pilot Captain Johnson speaking, reached our cruising altitude, 35,000 feet, on the way to Alicante. Weather en route's fine. Shit! That was it. And we sat there like... He came back on and he went, I'm really sorry, I might have scared some passengers. And what happened was, in the middle of my announcement, the stewardess brought me a coffee and spilt it on me. And that was all it was. I'm sorry. And he said, you want to see the front of my pants? And some bloke at the back went, you want to see the back of mine?
I would think the seats would be a problem. Like especially like in America, like say for instance, you got a fat ass. And in America, a lot of people got a fat ass, and I would think that the seats would consistently be a problem over there. But I've seen a few people over here, and they seem like, well, I've seen a lot of fat people, but they ain't got no fat ass. I don't know how they do that.
Reg, that's exactly the right answer. It is 60% of air passengers have had problems with their seat. The main problem being it's next to a man whose shoe is ticking.
More revelations in the McCartney divorce proceedings. All that business rumbles on, doesn't it?
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be the fella that introduced them.
All
right. I introduced Heather Mills to Paul McCartney.
Why?
Exactly. That's exactly what he's asking. Don't you think she's awful, Heather Mills? Now, I actually quite stick up for her, but it's awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he's Paul McCartney. You know, he wrote yesterday. She's Heather Mills.
And today, and he'll probably write tomorrow. He's a relentless worker.
I think the obvious thing, though, is that mostly when you meet a very beautiful woman, you assume there's a catch. There must be a catch. It can't be this good. And he thought the catch was the leg. Oh, it wasn't. But she's incredibly unpopular for someone with one leg. It's like Blunkett, isn't it? He's blind. Do you think people like him? Everyone thinks he's a I mean, you don't like her, do you?
I used to stand up for it. People would say, why? And now you think, why?
Well, because she couldn't stand up herself, right?
But when you think about it, she hasn't really done anything. What people forget...
We're all greedy.
She's greedy.
She had to hump that old man. He smells like dust.
Right? This would never have happened to the Stones. None of the Stones would have ever married a one-legged nutter.
The one thing he said was, she threw a bottle of ketchup at him. Right. And he's still not got it out his hair, has he?
But the thing is that, I like the way even celebrities can't have an argument without doing some product placement. You know, it's like, oh, he threw some Heinz ketchup at me, and then he put some Marmite bottles in a sock and hit me over the head, and tried to choke me with Jaffa cakes and sprayed Jif in my eyes.
I mean, someone said the other day, who gets the leg? Because...
No, more importantly, who gets a disabled parking voucher? Well... That's worth 10 million.
Draw a poll in here. Who's with Heather?
Right, OK. Well, let's have a look and see whether Paul McCartney is up there. Yes, the McCartney divorce is getting increasingly bitter. Heather Mills has denied she's a fantasist in a statement released by her lawyer, Rumpole of the Bailey. Right, Sean, Kirsty and Scott, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I think they've been talking about John Reid's come out tough again. He's tough on immigration. He's going to restrict the amount of Romanians and Bulgarians that can come here to work. Basically, loads of Polish people came over here 2 or 3 years ago and are doing, doing all the jobs like cleaning and building.
They're giving British labourers a bad name, aren't they? Because they're efficient, on time, cheap, polite. It's a disgrace. They should all be sent home. It's disgusting.
They can have a £1,000 fine, aren't they, for any Bulgarians caught working? Well, all they have to do is put on a posh accent, don't they? They learn to speak very posh English. They say, are you Bulgarian? Of course I'm not. Don't be so ridiculous, man.
How do you think I got this job?
Yeah. I don't know about you. I only employ Eastern Europeans, if I can possibly do so, because they just do the job and work hard.
Do you run a brothel?
Yeah.
I agree.
Shall we have a look and see if this is one of the most talked about things of the week?
Hey!
Our next round is Face Off. We have 6 well-known Big Brother housemates in the studio. Kamal, Nick, Jade, Victor, Michelle and Maxwell. We asked the public which of these housemates would do best on Mastermind. Who got the most votes?
Why can't I maybe have some votes?
Sorry, it's who would be best on Mastermind.
Yeah.
Did you not understand that question?
Jade, I think you do very well, but you'd be spinning around the chair.
I'm going to say Nick.
You're going to go with Nasty Nick?
Yeah.
OK. Dave's team, what do you think?
I'd love to see Jade on it. Just imagine it would be like you've passed on all 22. The answer to question 1 was Jade.
What would your specialist subject be?
Shoes and handbags.
Yeah. Who are you going to go for, team?
I think we've got to go for Kamal.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. What do you think, Jeremy?
Well, I don't think any of them are any good, to be honest. So... well, I'm sorry, but, you know...
Yeah, they're not like the cast of Hollyoaks, are they?
No.
Victor, what would your specialist subject be on Mastermind?
General knowledge, really, like...
Your specialist subject would be general knowledge?
That would be it.
That is amazing. Yeah. And your specialist subject is general knowledge?
Why, is that not a subject?
Is it not a subject? No, Jade, but when your specialist subject... I can't believe I'm having to explain that to a human being. General knowledge is the general bit, and then they do have a specialist subject.
Oh, in knowledge.
In knowledge, no. Oh, you're adorable. Well, you went with Kamal, you went with Nick. I can tell you that Kamal got 19% of the vote, but the public thought the best person on Mastermind would be Nasty Nick. He got 50% of the vote. According to the public, Nick was voted the housemate that would be best on Mastermind. His specialist subject would, of course, be the role of Buttons in various pantos across the East Midlands. We asked the public, which of these housemates would you most like to meet on a blind date? Who got the most votes? Dave's team.
I'd want to go on a blind date with Jade. I'm picking Jade every time, aren't I? I'm sorry, I would. My worry is she'd never find a place, you know, the arranged place. It's like, I'll meet you outside Ritz's. I'm not going to Brazil.
Okay, who are you going for?
It's got to be Michelle, hasn't it? I think Michelle. It's got to be Michelle.
I don't, yeah.
No.
We go for Michelle.
Yeah. You're going to go for Michelle?
Even half the chance.
Who are you going to go for, Sean?
Who would you like to meet on a blind date?
The public is actually the ones
Come on.
that have done this. I ain't got a clue, but I'm going to go for Jade, innit? Because Jade, everybody loves Jade. Now you're getting it wrong.
That's cute.
Like that, man. Sway with it, sway with it, sway with it, flow with it. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Does anybody remember the wooden tops?
Lisa, who do you think the public would have voted for?
Kamal.
You think Kamal?
There,
Why?
I said it.
You went for Michelle. I can tell you that Michelle got 20% of the vote, but Kamal got 35% of the vote. It was the top answer. OK, Dave, this is your final question.
All right.
We asked the public which of these housemates would make the best superhero. Who got the most votes?
Oh, Victor, didn't you have a couple of names, like superhero names, like the Milkman? And did you do the plumber? Was that... Why was that?
Because I laid pipe.
He's basically our job man. We're going to go for Victor.
Yeah, OK, you're going for Victor. Sean, what do you think?
What would your superpowers be, Vic?
Turn up really late, take your account details and launder mass amounts of money through them. Fraud boy.
Should we go with Kamal?
Kamal had an assortment of weapons to throw in it, like a laser mirror and like throwing boomerang stilettos and things.
You could also throw a hissy fit. OK, well, I can tell you that Kamal only got 16% of the vote. What? Victor was the top answer, 23% of the vote. Yes, according to the public, Victor would make the best superhero. One of his nicknames is the Milkman, because he always delivers milk. He's now a milkman, it's his job. Time for What's the Poll? I'm going to show you 5 people who were all popular answers on the same poll. All our panellists have to do is tell me, what's the poll? Here is your first one.
And the relationship between Mary and this dog is sensational to watch. Oh, this is delightful. And it's almost telepathic. She's using mostly just little signals, not commands. Oh, stunning. Wonderful. What a performance.
What poll do you think dogs might have appeared on?
Is this dogs with specs or just dogs in general?
A friend of mine had a dog, and this is true, it's got a lisp, this dog. And when it barks, he goes like this, he goes, "Louse!" And then it developed a stammer, and it goes, "Louse!"
The dogs are a man's best friend, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, is it something to do with a poll of best friends who have at one time or another shit in your kitchen?
No. OK, let's have a look at the next person on the poll. Athlete John Drummond there getting upset to illustrate the Olympics. What poll do you think might have featured the Olympics and dogs?
Is it things that postmen hate? Because postmen hate dogs, and they hate the Olympics.
Why?
Well, the Olympic Village, they go there, and it's just, you know, Saeed Asu Wara Wara, and they've just got to go and find him, haven't they? You ever seen a postman in Olympic Village? Just...
Dogs are going to be allowed into the Olympics. Swimming.
I'd like to see a 24-hour Vic Reeves news channel.
You're in luck.
Yeah.
I actually thought I was appearing on Eat Out of Tin Cans. Well, we would just have to eat out of tin cans and enjoy it for half an hour. That's why I went on this show.
Let's have a look at the next person on the list.
She knows hubby has to work hard, but if only he could be in punctually sometimes. Ah, there he is now. She's heard it plenty of times before, but she actually believes that stuff about being kept at the office.
No, I won't work too hard. I'll be home as soon as possible. Ah, that was the phone. I must go now. Goodbye, darling.
Mobile phones there. Television companies have been accused of profiting from mobile phone voting. If you want to hear the punchline to that joke, text moron to the number on your screen now. What poll do you think mobile phones, the Olympics and dogs might have appeared on?
I know. David Beckham. He did a telephone advert.
Yeah?
Football is going to be in the Olympics, and
Yeah.
Beckham rides a dog when he comes on the pitch.
It was so good, but he sort of fell down on that third one, I felt. OK, let's have a look at the next person.
Milo! A snake! A snake? Where? In the garden. You didn't touch it, did you? No, I didn't. Oh, good. Where is it now? I don't know. I left Doodles with... Turtles? It's probably eating turtles!
That was the Tweenies.
The Tweenies are pretty terrifying. Yeah. They look sort of like a normal family that live under a mobile phone mast.
Children like dogs, the Tweenies, the Olympics and mobile phones.
Let's have a look at the next thing on the list.
To be attractive, you just have to know that you are and just be happy with yourself no matter what you look like. And then you'll be attractive because everybody's beautiful.
Paris Hilton there. What poll do you think they all might have appeared on?
Is it things that they've got other names for? Like she's got a Paris Hilton, her real name's Reading Travelodge. Olympics, a lot of people just go, Olympics, innit? Can I have the points?
I think Paris Hilton is the big clue here.
So she had sex on the internet, and the Tweenies have had sex on the internet.
Is it things people have been searching for on the internet?
Yeah, Frankie Moore, that's the correct answer. They all appear on a poll of the most searched words on the internet. The next round is Believe It or Not. In this round, I'll give the panellists a simple statement, and all they have to do is decide whether they think it's true or false. Dave, Fiona and Jason are to go first. To illustrate their statistic, let's have a look at a clip of an animal psychic channeling the spirit of a dolphin.
Welcome, dear friends. It is our great delight and pleasure to be able to share this time and this space with you. You, dear friends, within human form, we within dolphin form.
OK, here is your related statistic. 52% of Brits would like to be reincarnated as a dolphin rather than any other animal. True or false?
I don't know why anybody would want to come back as an animal. You know, we're human. You know, we're the best animal in the world. As a human, I only want to come back as a human because I'm #1, or a unicorn. I'm not sure you get it. No, because people love horses, don't they? They love horses. Imagine how much they'd love a flying horse. Imagine that. And if they didn't love you, fly off.
It's a very good point, Jason. What would you guys want to come back as?
I could probably come back as a daddy longlegs, live for 6 hours and some pulls your wings off. That'd be my luck. Or I'd come back as a dolphin in a fish pool in Blackpool. With somebody going, right, you, jump or you won't get a pilchard.
Dolphins have got the edge for me, I think. They are very sexually active dolphins. They have group sex, they do all that. And the penis is prehensile. They can pick stuff up and carry it. That's brilliant, that. That's like a bit of flower arranging. Look at that.
Jermaine, what would you come back as?
I will come back as a host of recycled nutrients, fungus and bacteria, and that suits me fine.
That's a comedy show, Jermaine. 52% of Brits would like to be reincarnated as a dolphin rather than any other animal. True or false?
Well, we're having a round now.
False. So you're going for false?
2-1. False.
OK. Well, I can tell you that the answer is false. Yes, it's actually 13% that would like to come back as a dolphin. Of course, lots of people don't believe in reincarnation, but I think you may as well. You only live once. Right, OK. Sean, Phil and Jermaine, let's have a look at a clip to illustrate your statistic.
$720.
$720. All our bids are locked in. Good luck to you all. Our prize, $799. Merry ring. You're right.
You should have seen Jermaine when she found out she was coming on this show. That was the Australian Price is Right. Here is your related statistic. 67% of game show contestants describe appearing on television as the most exciting thing that has ever happened to them. True or false?
She looked horrified. She's like she'd been given, tickets for a dinner with Mick Hucknall or something.
It's called hysterics, isn't it?
Yeah.
They should have slugged her. Bam, would have put an end to that.
Yeah.
What kind of a feminist are you?
I would slug you if you had hysterics.
Will you? Do I have to have hysterics? How about if I'm just cheeky?
Female eunuch, this.
Oh, I don't want to be here. The thing about game shows, they always say to contestants, don't they? They always say to them, there's a funny thing happened to you once, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
With biscuits or something.
Yeah.
And there you go, oh, yes, yeah, I bought some rich tea, and I got them home, and it turned out, I forgot you've got it wrong, actually, look, we like digestives. And those are the usual stories they tell. So you can see that actually the anecdotes they have in their life are so pitiful that television probably would blow their minds.
Jermaine, you were on one, though, weren't you? You were on Big Brother. Was it the most exciting thing that's ever happened to you?
No.
What was?
Almost anything else. I loathed it. And they make up rules that you consider yourself bound by, and then they change them. And they make it as hard as they can.
This was Big Brother, wasn't it? Not your days in Guantanamo. What do you think, Sean?
I think it's absolutely spot on, Jimmy. That statistic isn't a statistic, it's a fact. Well, I'm staring down the barrel of the truth there. And I'm saying yes.
I can tell you that the answer is false. What else have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it Wayne Rooney and his new £100,000 mega deal with Manchester United?
I love the way that every time Wayne Rooney gets a new deal, we see a picture within 24 hours of Colleen grinning her head off with 27 bags of shopping.
I've got to say, she's earned it.
But the problem with these deals is that not launches all these people going, oh, they get paid too much. And then the footballers counteract by saying, yeah, but the fans, they're always shouting nasty things at me. And you're like, for £100,000 a week, I'd stay in the middle of the pitch at Wembley for 2 weeks and let you shout nasty things at me. So you're a knobhead. Yeah, I know. 1, 2, 3. Hello, can I get an account balance, please? Your mum's a knobhead. Yeah, but you should see her house.
She bought him a £30,000 watch for his birthday and a Louis Vuitton man bag and a goal set from Argos. You can take the girl out of Liverpool, but you can't get the catalogue off her, can you?
She also got him a picture of Robbie Williams' he's doing a moonie, and there's a danger that he'll mistake it for a mirror, isn't there?
I thought it was a portrait because the eye kept following him around the room.
She got all these brilliant people, Mike Tyson to sign things, U2 and Blue. They're not even together, are they?
Are Blue not together?
Sorry, Jimmy.
Oh, what a way to hear it. Let's have a look and see if Wayne Rooney's up there. Yes, it is. Yes. Wayne Rooney turned 21 this week. He received an Aston Martin, priceless sporting memorabilia and a £30,000 watch. I tell you what, though, he would have been happier with a tyre and a rope. We've got one more thing to guess. Fingers on buzzers. What else? Sean?
Is it the Richmond Council's decision to charge 4x4s lots of money to park?
Tell me more about this. What do you think of it?
I've got one. But I don't live in London. And I like it.
You like it?
Yes.
Well, that's fine then.
They're the most privileged people in society, usually people who have 4x4s, and then suddenly they're a victim. It's like, why are they picking on me? Just because I've got a 4x4. I think it should be more. I think it should be £1,000. F*** 'em.
That seems fair enough.
You get let off the fine and all that, but they're encouraging these electric cars. Tell me again, how do you make electricity? It's not exactly a clean fuel, is it?
The way they make electricity, those big power stations, there's thousands of blokes with full heads of hair and balloons going like that. Just thousands of them. Dwarves. It's funny with dwarves. Thousands of dwarves. Balloons.
I think they should call it, you know, they've got names for these taxis that they put in. They should just call it the tax. And
that's a bit harsh.
I know. They should put
fat boy, easy.
That's 2-0.
I'm defending the pregnant lady.
I started it.
No, I like the fat guy. Go on.
Oh, thanks, mate.
This is like a pub car park.
Leave it, it's not worth it. Let's have a look and see if the new 4x4 tax is one of the most talked about things. Yes, it is. The next round is called the poll with a hole. Here's your first question. 17% of church leaders think if Jesus came back to Earth now, he would what?
Be very old?
He definitely points out that the Da Vinci Code is a load of b****s. I didn't marry Mary Magdalene. Moved to France. I hate France.
I think he'd be a bit too soapboxy. A little know-it-all-y. Don't you think?
No. Clue what you're on about, Scott.
Do you think if he came back, he would be sectioned on the first day? Hello, I'm Jesus Christ. Right, come with us. Have a nice cup of tea and a sit down.
Who's to say I haven't come back?
Yes, I am. That is an exclusive. Of course, claiming to be Jesus is quite insulting to the Christians, but it doesn't really matter. They don't take it that seriously. They're probably out there now thinking, if I get hold of that Sean Locke, I'm going to bloody well forgive him.
Yeah.
I'll give you a clue on this one. It's about his choice of vehicle.
He'd have his own jet.
He'd have hover boots.
Classic hippie-ish.
Is it a VW van?
Yeah.
Exactly the right answer. Yeah, this is 17% of church leaders think if Jesus came back to Earth now, he would drive a camper van. I suppose it's better that Jesus Christ has a camper van rather than a Yamaha. You don't want him doing a skid and killing a kid and busting his on a dustbin lid. Our next round is face-off. We've got 6 well-known Big Brother contestants here in the studio. Nadia, Jade, Shabazz, Eugene, Jane and Mikey. OK. We asked the public which of these housemates would make the best James Bond.
Nadia, master of disguise.
You know, I have to say, my dream come true would be to be a baddie in a James Bond movie, so I can take it. I would love to be.
Octopussy.
Octococky.
What about Jade in Doctor No Idea?
Yeah. Eugene's your gadget man, isn't he?
Now, Eugene's Q, he's not Bond.
Oh, yeah, he'd be like, see this? It looks like a machine gun, but actually, it's a radio.
This is an atomic watch, but when you turn it off, it tells the time.
Yeah.
What's your favourite Bond gadget, Eugene?
I seem to remember there was the watch, as you said, the watch, which had all the gadgets in it, and it had the bomb in it.
Jesus Christ.
What are you going to go for, Dave?
Let's go Jane.
Well, there's only one who looks a bit like a James Bond, isn't there? Mikey looks like James Bond, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You're going with Mikey. OK, fine. Who would you go with?
We'd go for Eugene, I think, Jimmy. I think he would make a less than adequate Bond, which is the best that we can hope for.
Would you kill for your country?
Yeah.
I would. The only problem is I'd probably be late.
Why would you be late?
My timekeeping's appalling.
You've got an atomic watch, man!
Well, I can tell you that you're right. The housemate people thought would make the best Bond is Eugene. We asked the public, which of these housemates would you most like to go on holiday with? Who do you think, out of that motley crew, got the most votes?
Surely there should be a like, prefix to that, like, if you had to. I'd like to see how Shabazz reacts to turbulence in flight.
Jade, where's your favourite holiday destination?
Dubai.
Where?
Dubai.
Where's that?
I don't know.
It's nice though, is it?
Yeah. I just go to these places. At the end of the day, I don't want to be a geography teacher, so I don't have to know.
Quite right.
It's such a great shame you don't want to be a geography teacher, though, because children are missing out on what would be a hilarious education.
Eugene, have you ever been to Vegas?
Vegas?
Las Vegas?
Yeah, no.
OK. Have you seen the film Rain Man?
Yes.
OK. I think we could make a lot of money.
OK, which housemate would you most likely go on holiday with?
Jade and Jane as well.
So you, Jade and Jane, on holiday together?
Oh, yeah.
That is a Channel 5 programme, and you know it. What would we call it, though?
Armageddon? Well, I'm going to force you to guess now.
Jade.
You're going to go for Jade, are you?
Yeah.
Dave's team?
Well, if it was Safari, Shabazz, that'd be a laugh. Look at the lion! Look at the lion! I'm going to hide its food! Yeah, you do that.
He is his food.
Nadia.
You'd like to go on holiday with Nadia?
Yeah, I could borrow her shoes. Ah. Shoes.
You'd like to go on holiday with Nadia?
No,
Seems because she's sitting next to my
talking...
kids.
I've been on holiday with Mikey, so I went on
Have
the
you?
weekend, so yeah.
Who for? Hello or OK?
Seriously, though, who for?
No one, for myself. And him.
What's the point of that? You had a photographer with you?
No.
What's the point of that?
Go on, what's your final guess?
Shabazz.
You're going to go for Shabazz.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that Shabazz, 8% of the public wanted to go on holiday with Shabazz. Or more accurately, filled out the form incorrectly. The top answer was Jade, so you get the points. 35% of the population want to go on holiday with Jade. Jade recently said, I'm sick of the paparazzi, so she's having a deep pan, ham and pineapple instead. I'm going to show you 5 people who are all popular answers on the same poll. All our panellists have to do is tell me, what's the poll? Here is your first person.
Nowadays, everybody can have their own little bit of the Arctic with a home freezer. And there are 2 main kinds. This one, the upright one, has the advantage of not taking up too much floor space. With the second type of freezer, the chest type, this doesn't happen as much, although it does take up a lot more floor space. And I suppose if you're a very small person, you might find it difficult to find things right down at the bottom.
Delia Smith there. What poll do you think she might have appeared in?
This is a poll of the most patronising people in the world.
It's not a poll of the most patronising people in the world, but well done for your guess.
She knows nothing about freezers, that woman. No. I know. I got her top tips book, and it says quite clearly that a chicken should keep fresh in a freezer for 6 months. So I put one in on Tuesday, had a look today, it's dead.
Well, it could be people you'd like to cook dinner for you, but you wouldn't want them to eat it with you. Thanks very much. Can you go now?
OK, next person on the poll. Darth Vader there at the premiere of Shrek 2. What poll do you think Delia and Darth might have appeared on?
Is it a poll of women and fictional emperors?
I'll check for you. No.
The thing I always wonder about Darth Vader, if you think about it, like, he's got that, he wears that all the time, doesn't he? So he never gets any sunlight. You'd think he'd have rickets. Little bandy-legged fella like that just going...
I bet George Lucas is feeling pretty stupid right about now.
Is it people who are white but actually have the voice of a short, fat black man?
Next up, Joss Stone.
Has Darth Vader got his own range of pasta sauces?
Is it famous asthmatics?
No. Next person.
Tonight, singing live once again, Gary Mullen is Freddie Mercury!
Freddie Mercury there. What poll do you think he might have appeared on with Delia Smith and Darth Vader?
Is it people you'd be quite surprised to find out were your father?
He was gay, Freddie Mercury, but he was in the closet, wasn't he? He only came out the day before he died. And I just thought, really? Who knew?
People really didn't know. People used to say he can't be gay, he's got a moustache.
Yeah. The only people who didn't know probably were my nan and Brian May, I reckon. Brian May would just go, no, not Freddie, surely. But I mean, he tried to throw us off the scent with fat-bottomed girls, but...
Let's have a look at the next clip.
Oh, excuse me, Ricky. Ricky, I did see what you were doing. It felt good, didn't it? We all have feelings like this sometimes. I'm just glad you're doing this in the privacy of your own room. I'll be sure to knock next time, okay?
That's not right.
A clip there from a 1975 parental training film to illustrate mothers.
Why didn't she just knock?
Yeah.
She said she'd knock next time. She'd made a mistake. She'd learnt from it.
Right. Did she say that?
Yeah.
You absorbed that whole film. Shame it's not the Krypton factor. We'd get loads of points. Surely she should have checked. You know, he might have been building an airfix kit.
What's worse is if you've been doing it to something on the telly and fallen asleep when you wake up, she's put a cup of tea there.
Surely, Dave, if your mum put a cup of tea down, you'd hear the cup rattling.
So, Delia, Darth Vader, Freddie Mercury and mothers. What's the poll?
Is this people who have no idea how to communicate in a pleasant way?
I thought Freddie's voice touched millions of people.
Actually, apart from him, who's
Well,
the
you can't have a poll apart from someone, can you? He's the whole object of the game.
It's to do with something that you don't tell anyone.
Secrets.
It's to do with your computer.
Passwords.
Correct.
Oh.
Yes, they've all appeared on a list of the most popular names used for computer passwords. Number 1 on the list was Gandalf. That's tough to crack, isn't it? Right, he's a computer geek, he lives alone. Let's try Gandalf. What's Klingon for Gandalf? We're in. Our next round is Face Off. Our teams have 6 well-known faces in front of them. Jesus, George W. Bush, Charlotte Church, Siegfried and Roy, the Queen and Spider-Man. We asked the British public to rank these people in a series of questions. All our teams have to do is guess who came top. Jane, Sean, Patrick and Janet, who would you choose to make your best man speech?
Spider-Man, not for the speech, for the entrance. We wouldn't want Jesus as your best man, because the stag night would be shit, wouldn't it?
How's he going to go on with a ring?
Sean, who do you think the public would choose to do their best man speech?
Spider-Man.
I think he'd be good, Spider-Man. He'd be a better best man than an usher, you know, when you're showing people bride or groom, that's... Sorry. Where's the bride's father?
The thing with Spider-Man is, like, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, all the fancy powers. What happened with Elephant Man? What were all that about? Get that one. He didn't even have a cape.
OK, who would you choose to do your best man speech? Dave?
We're going to go for Bush, yeah.
Well, I can tell you that George W. Bush got 10% of the vote.
10%?
Spider-Man got 28%.
We should have gone for Jesus.
But Jesus was the number 1 answer, so Sean gets the points there. Yes, the top answer there was Jesus. He would, of course, tell the parable of the humble fisherman who got arseholed in Amsterdam and woke up handcuffed to a hooker. OK, Sean, who would be the best guest on Trisha?
Who's the fattest?
What happens on Trisha?
You've never seen the show?
To be fair, I've seen a bit of it, but I was cycling past a shop at the time. It was just gone.
It's a chat show where people talk about their problems, and while we're at it,
Yeah.
what is it that you do?
I can't believe there's a row and Janet isn't involved.
I think where you go wrong with Trisha is... Sorry? When it comes on, you put, like, across the bottom what the programme's all about. Now, if it's not my daughter wants to be a stripper, it gets flicked off.
Who would be the best guest on Trisha? What do you think, Sean?
Charlotte Church.
Oh.
Why is that?
Just read the papers, my friend. It's all there.
So you've gone for Charlotte Church?
Yeah.
OK.
Yep.
Who are you going to go for?
Jesus.
I
never knew my father.
Queen would be pretty good.
Dysfunctional families,
Blimey.
yeah.
That would be a series in itself.
Well, there is a rumour going around that the Queen can fire ping pong balls out of her fanny. Isn't there? If it's the Trisha show I've been watching.
OK, so you've gone for the Queen, you went for Charlotte Church. I can tell you Charlotte Church got 25% of the vote. But the Queen was the top answer with 39% of the vote. Presumably, the headline would be, "Help me, Trisha, my son married a horse." Half of Britain's school children don't know where ham comes from. Birmingham? Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Dave, Johnny, Rob, what have the nation been talking about this week?
Snow. The worst blizzards in Scotland for 10 years or something. 5,000 houses without power, wasn't it? Glasgow airport shut. That cold. A bloke in Glasgow with a coat on. That cold. That cold. There is a serious message, because it is cold. If you know an old person who lives near you, on their own, nip round, pop in, you know, use their eating. They get an allowance off the government.
Do people really talk about the snow, though?
Oh, yeah.
Ring up north. They're all talking about it up there.
Christian, have you got any idea what's going on?
I can't understand a word they're saying. Straight though.
Even me?
I just need your PIN number.
All right.
For the good cause.
Okay.
We love the snow in the north, though, don't we? Actually love the snow. As soon as it comes down, we're out there, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Come again?
We love the snow. We love the snow.
The Pope's coming.
No, we're not moving on to that until we've covered snow.
It's white. It's basically a hard version of rain. I when he passed me test 5 months ago, I didn't know you had to take it off the windscreen. To me, it was a magical adventure into Narnia.
Let's have a look and see if snow is one of the top 5 talking points this week. Yes, it is!
Hey. So excited.
Yes, everyone's been talking about the cold weather bringing parts of the country to a standstill this week. During the cold snap, gas prices have more than doubled. On the upside, it looks like the pension crisis might be over. Sean, Christian Slater and Lauren Laverne, what have the nation been talking about?
Let's see, the Garrick Theatre, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I don't know.
I think they've been talking about the scandal of the Labour Party selling peerages for cash. Selling peerages, which is, I think it's very strange, is that selling membership to a club which they've said they're going to disband quite soon. It seems a bit stupid. Do you want to join our club? Yeah, we are getting rid of it quite soon.
You could be Sir Christian Slater for 10 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
That's all it
about
costs.
$1 million. It's about $1 million.
It's about $1 million. Oh, forget it.
Well, I thought about doing that. I thought about doing that because you could take out, you could borrow £1 million, lend it to the Labour Party at the same interest rate that you're paying, right? And then you're a lord, and when the bank phone up for the money, you go, do you have any idea who you're speaking to?
£500,000 Michael Flatley paid just to be Lord of the Dance. he paid a bit more, he could have used his arms. He didn't pay enough, that's it.
Well, let's have a look and see whether Labour selling peerages is one of the top 5 stories this week. Yes, it is. Yes, Labour have been accused of selling peerages by exploiting a loophole where they accept loans instead of donations. They've been defended by a number of leading peers, Baroness Claims Direct, Sir Ocean Finance and the Earl of Cornhill. But most embarrassingly by Lord Archer. Sean, Louis and Reece, what have the nation been talking about this week?
4-year-old girl's depressed, a bit down. And she took her to the doctor and he said, yeah, she's depressed. Instead of, what he should have done, actually, when he went to her, he should have listened to all her symptoms. He should have gone, hold on a sec. Boom! Everything's been fine.
Apparently, the reason this girl is depressed is because she didn't get into the right primary school.
That was the end.
Yeah, but the reason she didn't get in is because her parents didn't put the application in time. So the reason she's depressed is that her parents are a couple of p***s. Basically, that's what it comes down to.
She tried to slit her wrist with stickle bricks.
There's a nice image, yeah. She put her head in the oven, but it's one of those little plastic ones, it's fine.
When I was 4, I used to get randy. I used to rub myself against a chair leg. Honestly, and my mum was going, stop that, it's naughty. And my dad said, don't tell him, don't stop, he's Welsh. He said, don't tell him to stop, because he might go funny in the head. And I think I did it till I was about 14. I would get on a chair leg and rub like that. On the chair leg and
That's funny.
Well, how they spotted it? I mean, I don't know how they actually identified her depression. She's not listening to, Leonard Cohen in a room. Just sort of sit up there smoking. I mean, there's...
I think she's up in her room listening to the Tweenies' very difficult second album.
Yeah.
Let's have a look and see whether this 4-year-old depressed girl is one of the most talked about things of the week.
Oh, it is. That's not good.
This is the story of the 4-year-old girl who's depressed about not getting into the right primary school. It's not uncommon for small children to get depressed. I know a baby who cries all day and can't get out of bed. Doctors knew something was seriously wrong when she stopped laughing at the Chuckle Brothers. To me, to you, to me, to you. What's the point? Keep it. Dave's team, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I guess the American midterm elections. People's excited too that Rumsfeld resigned, and just, so what? Bush is not real. The people who back Bush, those are the dangerous people. You don't never see them. Getting upset with Bush is like some kid coming up to me with a puppet and going, out of my way, and I going, you damn puppet, I hate you.
Headline that made me smile said, Democrats spell disaster for Bush. Can't spell for can he?
Apparently, the reason they lost was because of the war in Iraq. It's cost them $1 billion a week.
Yeah, £1 billion a week.
Yeah, who's bloody paying for it, eh? It's us. Isn't it?
Have you thought about writing for the Daily Mail? You don't seem to understand much, but you seem sort of upset about it, and those are, I think, the key things.
Yeah, my mum buys the Daily Mail, right? Only because the ink doesn't come off on your hands.
But you know what's keeping it there?
What?
Hate.
Yeah.
Louis, what do you make of the midterm elections, I imagine?
Jimmy, I've never been a fan of Bush.
Hey,
never been a fan of God bless you for your honesty.
Schwarzenegger got back in again as well, didn't he? Which is always astonishing.
Did you hear what he said when he got back in?
I love sequels.
Oh, if he loves sequels, why doesn't he go and make Kindergarten Cop 2? I always felt that never resolved properly, that film at the end.
What a great film.
I used to like, Schwarzenegger movies back in the 80s. And something bothered me about those movies were like, he would be playing these American roles and no one would notice he sounded different. And as racist as America is, he would have been like, pff, pff, Billy, let's get out of here.
Well, let's have a look and see if the midterm elections are one of the most talked about things this week.
Oh, back in the league. Back in the league.
They are. Did you know, for example, 60% of cosmetic surgery patients are disappointed with the results, although they look pleasantly surprised? A quarter of the over 50s are failing to save. It's Control S, you old buffers. And 1 in 4 Brits claims that their post has been lost or stolen. Well, I can reassure you, it was definitely stolen. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. That definitely needed an S on the end of it, didn't it?
Like that, the talking point.
Do the S again? Yeah, it's...
Could be one of mine.
Dave, Jade and Chris, what have the nation been talking about this week?
Take that aback with the Inland Revenue Tour, I think it is, basically. It's not front page news, surely to God. They've got... No, the Beatles have got a hit album.
Oh, hang on, there's a lady going through the menopause as we speak.
That's how Take That fans speak.
What?
Don't use words, they just go, woo! How are you today? Woo-hoo! Do you want a cup of tea? Woo!
Childline set up a hotline right after Take That and split up.
In 1996, the Samaritans set up a special helpline for distraught fans.
It's the only time the Samaritans have ever been allowed to use the words, oh, grow up. On the phone. Just grow up.
Why are they called Take That? What's the name mean?
On their video, they had this thing saying, if you don't like it, throw it in the bin, take that.
That's my favourite thing you've ever said. Those are the instructions that come with their video.
Well, they said it. I'm honest, I watched it at my caravan with my friends.
Wow. Oh, yeah. I imagine that was a party. Let's see if Take That at number 1 is up there. Yes, it is. Yes, Take That have returned to the top of the charts. The reunion took longer than expected to put together because no one could remember who Howard was. They spent 6 months rehearsing with a bloke from the Halifax advert. Vic, Sean and John, what have the nation been talking about this week?
I think they're talking about Michael Grade going from the BBC over to ITV. You know, they're saying he got something like 8 million, and he's saying he didn't do it for the money.
No.
Rubbish.
He's genuinely saying that, though. He's going to come out in the press and gone, it's not about the money.
I don't do a job for the money.
What the hell do you do it for?
He said he did it for the challenge. The challenge being getting all that money home in a wheelbarrow.
ITV said it was a real coup. It's not, is it?
No.
A real coup would be when ITV's tanks actually roll into Television Centre. That'll be...
A real coup?
That'll be an actual coup.
ITV have done it because ITV apparently is not doing very well at the moment. So they've stolen Chief from Channel 1. Stolen, Chief from Channel 1 to come over and do it. But what really muddles my brain is...
What muddles your brain?
No, what muddles my brain is if they've got all that money to offer him, why don't they just make better TV programmes?
I hope he finally ends Coronation Street, because this first series is really dragging on.
You know what he's doing to Coronation Street?
What?
He's changing. He's going to be CSI Weatherfield. Let's have a look and see if it's up there. Yes, indeed it is. Yes, Michael Grade has announced he's moving to ITV. ITV needs him. They're in trouble. I tried to tape The Mint the other night, and my Sky Plus box started crying.